Hello, today I want to check out Hype from Adapter, but what I really liked about this plugin after I read the manual is that some serious thought has been put into the plugin. You can see from the manual that a lot of the features and functions have been really thought through in how they're going to function and what will be the good, scenario to have and what will be a bad scenario to have, all the way down to automation of certain, parameters. So to have just a short rundown through the plugin, it has compression, which is multi-band, and that compression has like different styles of compression within it. It does do an upward compression and downward compression at the same time, so kind of an OTT kind of compression. And how you can control it is you can limit the maximum gain that the upward compression is going to have. So the amount by which the low level information is going to be boosted up can be limited, meaning that it's not going to boost all the low level information that those like reverb tails and the noise super loud up when chance arrives. So it's not going to do that, and that's really cool. The next thing is the harmonics. So it's harmonic distortion. It can be different kinds of distortion as well, but the thing I like the most about it is this intensity parameter right here, which at its lowest settings allows the harmonic distortion to be applied to the signal but in correlation to its level, meaning that higher level signals get more harmonic distortion, low level signals get less harmonic distortion. If you boost that up all the way to the top, in this mode, all of the levels for the signal get the same amount of total harmonic distortion. So low level and high level signals, they all get the same amount of harmonics. That's also really cool. And in the end, we have some stereo control. And as far as I could tell, this is just a mid-side kind of control, which is also appreciated in multiband. But from what I could see, that was it. Now, the way I want to try this out is on the master of a song. Of course, if I want to test that out on something, singular, we could just play the breakdown where it's only the synths and check out what that's going to sound like, with some more extreme settings. So let's try it out right here on a really busy part of the song, and I'm going to try out some presets right here, some mastering presets. Let's go with the first one, AMV Enhancer. Let's try that. So I'm going to just try it with this dry wet mix, so no effect. Okay, that's really subtle, but nice for a mastering preset. It should be, basically. Let's try some other ones. Let's not jump into something completely different. Let's try more mastering presets. And you see when you open the preset dialog, you can see all of the main controls like on this bottom panel right here, which is amazing. Honestly, just moving everything so that you can still control stuff while browsing the presets is really great. Actually, I like these. And we can just bypass it. Yeah. It does add some gain, this preset, so even though I guess it's compensated, it's not compensated. Okay, so let's try with compensation. It does provide us with a different kind of balance once it's completely applied. I'm guessing that the compression really plays a role there in, changing the spectral balance of the song, but I actually like what it's doing. So let's try with the next preset. Yeah, this one is a little bit more extreme, I guess. Yeah, with the compression and with the saturation, this one is quite more aggressive. Let's try this big and go wide, and big and wide. And let's try with the compression and everything else opened up so we can see what's happening. Nice, so it's using the opto compression model on this one to kind of stay, you know, in that mastering kind of realm, being nice and gentle, unnoticeable, transparent almost, which is cool. It's not transparent, but okay. It is working in parallel. So this is the mix. This is the completely compressed signal. Okay. I like what it's doing. And you can see when we select, let's say, the harmonics, and we have this 3-band display, we can see how much of total harmonic distortion is applied to each one of the bands. We can control the bands as well, like where the band is going to, you know, where the crossover is going to be. So you could maybe even add more on the mids. That's a more mix. That sounds really cool. I love that it has an even harmonics generator, which is also cool. Like you could add some of that, some of the other, but I love that it has an even harmonics generator, especially when it's multi-band. It's really cool. So this can go even crazier. And let's try a part of the breakdown and see how that's going to sound with some of the more aggressive presets. Let's try stints. Yeah, this goes crazy. Basically, these are synth processors, but I like this. So let's bypass it. Yeah. Really cool. Bus processing. Smash tape. This is really cool. So it has a lot of useful presets, you know, at a first glance. So I didn't go through the presets before this. I just wanted to go through the manual so I know what everything is doing in the plugin. Well, let's try this out on a busier part of the track. Let's say here. Yeah, it's quite aggressive, of course, but still sounds cool. Not for the master. That's really nice. So let's try some of these modules, but you know, one by one. So standalone. Do I have a preset here that's maybe like all reset? Or maybe we could go from something in the mastering, control and clarity, which is probably really soft, like it is, and then go from there. So let me try the compression first. And maybe we can try something not as gentle or opto. Let's try the slam and see what that sounds like. A brick is basically a limiter. So I wanted to try the slam because this is more of an OTT kind of compression. Okay, so I'm going to limit the amount of upward compression. Basically, even controlling all of these is much easier. Yeah, with these that actually control all three knobs at the same time. Oh, goes really crazy on the transients, completely slamming them. So let's bring some of that in. Cool, that really brings the transients back in. So from what I've read, it actually delays the compressor's reaction so that the transients can come through. Now, is that just the attack feature, or it's actually delaying, like introducing a delay into the reaction of the compression? I don't really know. That's what I read. And that's what it actually sounds like. So brings the transients back in. So that's the compression for you. Let's disable it completely and go back into harmonics. Just gonna go down with the intensity completely. Let's try it one by one. Let's see what that's gonna sound like. See, only on the lows. So that's drive. What if I do some saturation? Is it going too much? Now this really depends on the level of the input when in its lowest form right here. So what if I try the even? Okay, doesn't bring so much of distortion into this. Let's try it again. Like this is better. Okay, so even like all the way up is cool. So let's try the next one. Let me just solo these mids. Let's try the excite. Let's squash it down a tiny bit. Yeah, so I'm just gonna go up with the hype, so the complete mix, so that I can hear this better. Let's see what that's like on the lows, actually. Ooh, too much. Yeah, it was me mixing with the hype all the way down. Okay, that's bearable. So the next one. Some distortion. This one slams it even more. Yeah. Okay, this really adds saturation. That's its job, and it does sound cool, and you have a lot of settings, have different types of distortion. Not that you don't have it in some other saturation processors, you do, but this is really cool because it has compression, harmonics, and stereo in one plugin, and a lot of useful presets, for combining all of those nicely. So I do like that. Okay, so let's try all of it together. None of it. It has really nice controls. I like this. I like the control style of it. It's not like Saturn cannot do this and has like an even crazier network of modulators and stuff, but this is really cool to get a nice quick result. And the stereo, which I guess we could apply some stereo widening. Okay, not bad. Okay, let's make it better. So all three of them. And that's the gain compensation working, automatic one. And I think this compression is now too much because I did it with the hype at like 20%. So let's go not so crazy with that. Feel like I slammed the harmonics of the highs too much. That can also be fixed, and I'm guessing that the compression is not helping as well, but fills it up. Not just fills it up, it evens it out. So the compression and the saturation, they really play their part, and this really kind of stabilizes the signal, although I am trying this on a master. And while this can be used on a master as well, has a clipper at the output, and all of that has like linear phase filters for the crossovers, if you want them. I think that its usability really translates even better to single sound, so used in the mix, on the buses, on separate, instruments, synthesizers, and whatnot. I think it would be better that way. That's just my initial feeling. Generally, I really like the plugin, really, really well thought out. I think it's really important to say this tone right here just tilts the signal, kind of altering that spectral balance that you're after with the compressor. So it really helps you just like get different kind of compression. So compressing more of the highs, now compressing more of the lows. Yeah, really nice. So I have to say, I dig the plugin. I really do. I think I'm going to try it out as long as the trial allows me to. And yeah, if I use it on too many things, then I'll have to buy it so I can open all their projects and continue working on them. This is just my initial thoughts. And if you don't know what I'm talking about half the time, check out the course, mixingacademy.com. Thanks to 11.org. It's completely free. If you don't like my stupid glasses, comment. If you don't follow the channel, subscribe. And if you like the content, give it a like. See you in the next video. Bye.